Hi everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Gita Melita Majida. You can call me Jen. I'm a second grade midwifery student from Poltekkes Kemenkes Tasikmalaya Cirebon. And now I'm going to show you how to do amniotomy properly. Amniotomy, also known as artificial rupture of membranes or breaking the water, is a procedure performed by an obstetrical provider to intentionally rupture the amniotic sac during labor. This is done to help influence the speed of labor, allow for more direct fetal monitoring, and assess the quality of the amniotic fluid. Amniotomy is generally performed when the fetus is in the appropriate position for birth and when the risk and benefit of the procedure have been carefully considered. Like any medical procedure, amniotomy has possible risks including infection, bleeding, or stress to the fetus. So, it is performed carefully and by experienced medical personnel. Before we go to the step, let me show you the equipment needed. They are a sterile amniotomy hook, sterile gloves, antiseptic solution, drapes, and monitoring equipment for the fetus, kidney disc, and protective gown. Okay, now let's go to the step. First, we must wash our hand or use hand sanitizer. After that, we should wear sterile gloves. Second, assess cervical dilatation by internal examination. Assess the fetal presenting part. Ensure that the presenting part, the fetal head, and assess if that the fetal head is well engaged in the pelvis or not. Third, after confirmation of both fetal presentation and engagement, the midwife can proceed with artificial rupture of membranes. The next step, if using the rod hook device, the end of the rod that remains outside of the vagina is typically held with the non-dominant hand. Then, the hook end of the rod is then protected between two fingers when entering the vagina. When the midwife can velvet the amniotic membrane and presenting part, the non-dominant hand is used to advance the hook to the amniotic membranes. After that, the membrane is when snatched with the hook and gentle traction is applied in a superior direction to thwart the amniotic membranes. Next, successful rupture of membranes most commonly is determined by the immediate return of the amniotic fluid from the vagina. Then, this fluid is usually clear and odorless. In certain cases, it may contain meconium or be blood tinged. And then, it is important to note the color of the fluid at the time of rupture. Then, Typically following artificial rupture of membranes, the midwife should not immediately remove their hand from the vagina because it is at this point that the highest risk of potential cord prolapse can occur and will be not as the amniotic fluid continues to drain. And the last, after the immediate flow of amniotic fluid ceases, the vagina hand then can be removed. After that, tie-dye up the equipment and wash your hands. Thank you for watching. Bye.